Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It has been such a long time since I have sat down and filmed a video, let alone updated you guys on my pregnancy. So I am here today to do my 13-week pregnancy update. I am 13 weeks and 1 day today. I think the last time I did an update I was 5 weeks. I think I actually did film a 6th week, but I didn't like the footage. Like, the lighting was really bad because it was like a stormy day, so I didn't even bother like editing it or putting it up. So I really haven't done an update in about 7 weeks. It's been a really long time, so I have a lot to fill you guys in on, and hopefully I will be back on track to doing my like weekly updates or like bi-weekly updates, just depending upon like if I have anything to like really share with you guys. Since my last update, I have gone to the doctor 3 times. In that time, I've had 2 different ultrasounds and I've had my blood drawn. So I'm going to get into my doctor's appointments first before I go into symptoms. My first doctor's appointment was right when I was 8 weeks. I think I was 8 weeks and 1 day. I went in for my first appointment. They did not do an ultrasound. They just did all the paperwork. They checked my weight. They checked my height. They did like my female exam, but I did not get an ultrasound that day because they wanted to wait a little bit longer so they could get like a better measurement, because my doctor's ultrasound machine is very old. It is like a dinosaur. It is so ancient. They don't do like an internal ultrasound. It's the one where it's on the outside. So when you're that early, it's really hard for it to like pick things up and like get a measurement. So they told me to come back in 2 weeks, and they sent me to get my blood drawn. So I went and got my blood drawn. Everything came back okay with that. Everything came back okay with like my female exam and all of those things. And when I went in for my next appointment, I was 10 weeks. They did an ultrasound that time, and the baby was measuring smaller than what it was supposed to be. I think it was measuring like 5 days smaller than what it should be. It's kind of crazy how they can measure it and it gives you like 6 weeks in 1 day or 10 weeks in 2 days. Like, it's just crazy to me how like a little machine can like be so accurate. Or inaccurate, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's just how you think of it. They didn't change my due date that appointment when I was 10 weeks because every time she like paused it and like measured the baby, she was getting like a different reading every time. So they decided not to change it, and they told me to come back in 2 weeks. So I was going to be 12 weeks for my 12-week appointment, and then from there it would be like every 4 weeks. So I went in last week. Actually, it was almost 2 weeks ago now, and I was like 12 weeks and 4 days when I went in for that appointment, and they did an ultrasound. I will put one of the pictures right here. During that appointment, the doctor tried to find the baby's heartbeat with the Doppler, and he searched for a good 2 minutes and he could not find the heartbeat at all. My stomach was starting to like kind of hurt a little bit because he was kind of like digging the little wand in like really far into my uterus to try to get the baby's heartbeat, and he couldn't get it. So he sent me across the hall to the nurse practitioner, and she did another ultrasound. It was in that ultrasound where we did get to see the heartbeat. I think we actually saw the heartbeat the first time, but we couldn't hear it. It was still too early. But during the second ultrasound, we actually saw the baby, and it looked like a little baby, and we saw the like heart flickering, and she gave us a couple more pictures, and then she's like, let me try to see if I can find the heartbeat. So she took her Doppler and she found the heartbeat immediately. So we did get to hear the baby's heart rate, and it was so nice. It was just kind of like this awesome feeling because you've been pregnant, or I've been pregnant, you know, for like 12 or 13 weeks, and you feel pregnant sometimes, and like you can tell you're pregnant because like obviously your stomach's growing and you're having all these pregnancy symptoms, but you're not feeling like a baby kick yet. So it's just kind of nice to like hear the baby's heart rate because it just reassures you that everything is okay. So at that appointment, I was 12 weeks and like 4 or 5 days. They did change my due date. So my date was originally October 16th and now my due date is October 20th. It's only a 4-day difference. It's not that big of a deal, especially in the long run, and especially because I'm going to have a C-section, and my doctor does C-sections when you hit 39 weeks because he doesn't want you going into labor naturally. So my first pregnancy, that was an emergency C-section and it was at 36 weeks. So obviously that one doesn't count. But my second and third pregnancy, they did both at like 39 weeks and then 39 weeks in 1 day. The second was at like 39 weeks in 1 day. So it's not that big of a deal. I can live with a couple days of a date change. So that is my little update for like my doctor's visits. They did change my date. Not that big of a deal, but it was really nice that we got to see the baby, because normally at my doctor, they do your ultrasound, you know, between 8 and 12 weeks whenever your first appointment is. And then you don't get another ultrasound until they send you out for your anatomy scan, like around 16 or 17 weeks. And then you never get to see the baby again. I know a lot of doctors' offices, like you get ultrasounds like a lot throughout your pregnancy, but mine only does them if it's like really needed. And my last 2 pregnancies, I never needed one, so I never got to see the baby other than those like 2 times. Moving on to symptoms, because it has been such a long time since I have done an update, I feel like I have so much to update you on. So I guess I will just kind of start back from the beginning. So my last update, I was 5 weeks. I think I talked about I was tired maybe, and that everything I was eating was like giving me an upset stomach. When I hit 6 weeks, the upset stomach and like food, it went away completely. And then I was good for about 4 or 5 days. When I hit my like 7-week mark, or what I thought was 7 weeks, which I guess was really 6 weeks, I got so sick. I was nauseous all the time. I only threw up once or twice. I ran to the bathroom a few times to try to throw up, but I never really did. But I was feeling nauseous from about 11 o'clock in the morning, afternoon, until I went to bed, like nonstop nauseousness. And combine that with just being tired, but then you can't sleep because you just feel so nauseous. I was so miserable. That is part of the reason why I never filmed a pregnancy update. I did get out of bed, obviously, to take my kids to school and feed them breakfast, but I was like that lazy mom where they got like cereal or Eggos, like Eggo waffles. Like I could not even function. It was bad. I have not drank coffee since then because just the idea of coffee grosses me out. And if you guys have been watching my videos or watched like my past videos or followed me for a long time, you guys will know that I live off coffee. But right now, like just the idea of it, I just can't. So I am super tired and I have nothing to like kind of pick me up throughout the day, so that's been a little bit hard. My husband is definitely feeling was feeling my sickness, because it was to the point where we were eating out almost every night because I couldn't even handle cooking. Like it was bad. Let's just throw it out there. It was bad. For a good 4 weeks, I was like the worst mom, the worst wife. Like our house was a mess, the car was a mess, my life was a mess, everything was a disaster. I am barely starting to like recover from the mess of our house. Things just started to pile up and now I have like clutter everywhere. Most of it's the kids' toys because they kind of took all their toys out of their room and now they're all in the living room because I was basically living on the couch. So it's just a complete disaster. I have managed to clean both of the bathrooms this past week. I have managed to get caught up on all the laundry, so we have no dirty clothes in the house, and the kitchen has been clean for the last like week and a half, so I am super proud of myself with that. My room has been clean. The only 2 things that really need focusing on now are the kids' rooms and the living room, because I am finally starting to get my energy back. With my morning sickness, I don't even know if I should call it that. Like, let's just call it nausea, like 24/7. The only thing that would make me feel better was to eat. And I wouldn't eat like a lot, but I was snacking all day, because as long as I was like eating and my stomach was like digesting something, I felt better. Once my food kind of got digested, I felt sick from what I had just ate. and like what I just ate, I never want to eat again because it sounded so gross to me. I mean, I can eat it now, but at the time, like I would eat like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I would feel good, and then it would digest, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never eating that again. Like, that's so disgusting because of how I was feeling. And because I was snacking so much, I gained about 10 pounds. Like, I am only 13 weeks into this pregnancy and I've gained about 10 pounds. When I stepped on the scale today, I was 132. So that is like, I think 10 pounds above where I started. I'm not quite sure the exact number when I started because my scale was broken and I didn't get like my weight until like I was 5 or 6 weeks. So yeah, I've gained a little bit of weight, and that's normal for me. I am that kind of person that does not get like a cute little baby bump. I just kind of fill out everywhere because I have a really small torso. I don't know if it necessarily picks it up in my videos, but like when I stand next to people, my legs, I mean, I'm short. My legs are not long. Like, I'm a short person, but like my legs are long compared to like how small my torso is. Like, this is not a lot of room for like a baby to grow. Like, I have a lot of friends who have really long torsos, so it takes them forever to show because there's like a lot of room for the baby to like move around in. Because I'm so short, I like fill out everywhere. I get some love handles, like it happens every time I get pregnant. So I know I should expect it, but it's still hard to like see it every time because you, in the back of your head, you're like, man, why can't I be cute like all these other people I see? But my husband, he's awesome and amazing, and he tells me all the time like, oh, your belly's so cute. So it's nice to like have a very supportive spouse, because honestly, if he wasn't telling me these things, I'd probably just cry all the time because I'm like an emotional wreck of hormones right now. Now that I am 13 weeks, I kind of feel back to my normal self, other than obviously being out of breath and like my stomach changing. Another symptom that I have been experiencing is nosebleeds. This happened in my last 2 pregnancies. And I have no idea why it happens. My doctor says it's normal and that it sometimes happens to people, but every time I tell him something, he tells me it's normal. My last 2 pregnancies and this one, I have been pregnant around the same time. My due dates with my last 2 were the end of August. This is the beginning of October, the middle of October. So there is like a 2-month difference. But compared to my first pregnancy, I got pregnant at the end of the summer, so I was pregnant all winter long, and so I was never really pregnant in the spring when my allergies are at its worst. So I think it has something to do with my allergies, but I'll just be sitting here and half the time my nose is either stuffy or runny. I mean, I know that a lot of pregnant people have these symptoms, so combine it with your allergies, I feel like I can't breathe ever. So half the time my nose is runny and I'll just, you know, do that, and then I'll look down and there will be blood all over, and it'll take a good like 10 minutes to stop. So it has been happening like every day or every other day. It's not so much blood to where I'm worried about it or I feel like lightheaded, but it is something that I have been experiencing, so I just thought I would throw that in there. As well as my feet and my legs have been hurting so bad. This happened with my second pregnancy. It happened in my first pregnancy, but not towards the end. It did happen in my second pregnancy, but not very often. And then my third pregnancy, from like the time I hit 10 weeks, my legs hurt. Like, I couldn't sleep. It was like restless leg syndrome times 100. And I have been experiencing that now. I have been taking either a hot shower or a hot bath at night, and that seems to like help it a little bit. And then my husband, he just squeezes my feet. I'm like, squeeze them as hard as you can because they just hurt so bad. It's almost like the nerves in your feet are like going haywire. That's like the only reason, the only way I can explain it is like your feet just want to like get up and run. And I do notice the more active I am during the day, the more my feet hurt. So I have no idea what that is about, but I have been experiencing that as well. The pregnancy app that I have is Ovia Pregnancy, and I really like it because it shows you like everything that's going on. It gives you a calendar, it gives you day by day like information, weekly information, monthly information. It shows you how big the baby's hand is right now. as compared to like what it's gonna be like when the baby's born. And my baby's hand was not even that big when she was born, but that is how big the baby's hand is right now. And on this app, it can tell you how big the baby is. Now, most things compare to fruit, but this app has where you can like pick a theme, and it has a weird but cute animals theme, a fun and games theme, a bakery theme, and a fruits and vegetables. So I picked the fun and game because it's more things that I actually know like what they are. Some of the fruit, it's like really hard to like compare it. So right now the baby is the size of a Matchbox car, so like a little toy race car. So about that big, that's how big the baby is right now. The last week, I swear I have been feeling the baby move. Obviously not on the outside, but on the inside. If I'm really full, or I really have to go to the bathroom and my bladder's full, or I'm like laying a certain way and like putting pressure in a certain area, I can feel little flutters. I think the first time I felt it, I was about 11 weeks, and I just felt it one time and I just kind of thought it was in my head. And then a few days later, I felt it again, and now I'm kind of feeling it like every day or every other day. And it's not a lot, it's just a little, and I probably only feel it like once or twice throughout the day. But I have been feeling the baby move. I don't know, I would have to go back and look with my last pregnancy. I think it was around the same time. My first pregnancy, obviously I didn't feel it till way later because it was my first one, and you kind of don't know what to expect. My second one, I think I started feeling the baby when he was like 14 or 15 weeks, so still a little bit further. And with this pregnancy and my last pregnancy, like once I hit 12 weeks, I really started feeling it. So like I said, I still can't feel it on the outside, but I can definitely feel like little tiny flutters on the inside, and it's such like a good feeling because again, it's, you know, your baby is like okay and floating around in there and like having a good old time. My next doctor's appointment is May 3rd in about 2.5 weeks, and I will be 15 weeks and 6 days, so almost 16 weeks pregnant. And at that appointment, they should hopefully give me my paperwork to be sent out to get an ultrasound. So we will get to find out hopefully if it's a boy or girl. I think that is all for my update. I am going to start getting caught up on normal videos as well as my pregnancy updates because I'm really sad that I didn't get to document, you know, these last couple weeks. But like I said, I was just like walking death. Like I was a zombie. I was so out of it. I couldn't even handle putting makeup on. I went a couple weeks without putting makeup on at all. So yes, I apologize, but I am back, and hopefully I can stick with my weekly updates as well as like my normal videos that I normally post, because I haven't posted an unpregnancy related video since I got pregnant because I was like filming all these pregnancy videos and like getting caught up on those, and then I got sick and my house has been a mess, so I can't really show you cleaning my house if I haven't really been doing that. I'm going to stop rambling because this video is, I'm sure, super long, and I'm going to show you guys my belly, do my measurements, and I'll be right back. With this shirt on, this is just what it looks like. I feel like I don't look super pregnant. I just look like I ate like 2 boxes of pizza by myself, but I am getting that like poke out right here that like never really goes away. And then here is with the shirt off. I feel just, like I said, just really like round all over. Measurement of my belly, I have no idea what it was last time, and it's probably grown since then, but I am right at 33 inches. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this video, and I will see you guys next week for another pregnancy update, and hopefully soon on my channel for just my normal videos. If you haven't seen my other pregnancy updates, I will put them in the description box below as well as in the playlist, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye guys.